Today we're going to be taking a look at a watch from the Swiss brand Ernest Borel. They're revamping some of their lines, including making some new lines. The watch I have in today is from the Sage collection. It's a dive watch that has quite a few different variations, some different bezel combinations, but nice watch so far. Whenever I get watches in, I like to give them some solid wrist time, and there's no better place to test a watch out than at the cottage. So over the next few days, we're going to be doing some cottagey things. Then we'll bring this back home and I'll give you all the details on the watch. There we go. Got a pretty good size bass here. All right, so back home after a 4-day trip up north and had a great time with this on wrist. Lots of fishing, got in a couple of paddles on the kayak too, and it held up just fine. Now, the brand originally dates back to 1856, and with the watch, there's a book that goes through the history of the brand. You can also find it on their website. Interesting read, but right now they're reworking the collection, and there's, I believe, 3 new lines of watches, including the Sage collection. The Sage collection has a few variations of dive style watches, some more vintagey style, some a little more modern. Now, they did send this in, and it does not have to be returned, so just wanted to be 100% transparent with you. But like always, they have no say when it comes to the content of today's video. I didn't know which version they were sending out until this green model came in, but I really like it with that vibrant sunburst dial. The dial is a beautiful shade of green and really comes to life, especially under some sunshine. Up top is Ernest Borel printed in white. Then down above the 6 is the water resistance in orange and limited edition automatic. And the watches are limited to 999 pieces. I like the orange accents on the text, the minute, and markers at the 3, 6, 9, and 12. That with the red hour and second hand gives it a fun look, especially with that large arrow hour hand. One thing I was surprised to see was the lume and just how good it is. Even the orange lume is bright. It's pretty well just as bright as the rest. No lume on the bezel or second hand, unfortunately, though, but where there is lume, it is top notch. The bezel is a 60-click bezel, and sometimes a 60-click can feel clunky, but this has a nice feel. Grip is good, and the insert is made with ceramic. The square pip looks cool, although you'll find on some other watches in the collection it is a triangular pip, but overall really happy with the bezel. The case is well finished with just a touch of polish work along the edges of the lugs and the top of the crown guards. The one thing I will say is I do find, especially when it's screwed in, it takes that little bit of extra effort to grip the crown. Maybe if it was just a millimeter bigger. Once it's out, there's a little bit more to get a hold of, and there's no issue. Good winding action of the movement, which is visible through the display case back. The movement is listed as either an ETA 2824 or a Sellita SW200, I guess depending on availability, but you're getting a high beat movement with a power reserve of approximately 40 hours. The strap that comes on the watch is quite comfy. It's a soft rubber on a signed deployant clasp. For my wrist size, I'm on the very last hole. Both keepers still cover the end of the strap. I'll just try to show you here. But if your wrist was any bigger than 7.25 inches, you'll need to put this on a different strap. If you're like me, I usually am wearing watches not on the stock strap anyways, but just something to consider. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of 40.6 millimeters. Lug to lug is 49.6. Lug opening is 20 millimeters and the thickness is 12.3 millimeters. The crystal is an AR treated sapphire and the water resistance is 200 meters. And here it is on wrist, and I am really liking the look. As a whole, it's a great watch. Check out the site. There's some pretty cool options if you're not into the green like this. But yeah, cost for this comes in at just over 1,030 USD. And one big bonus with this company is they do have a 5-year warranty. Link to where you can find these will be below. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye bye.